From a network roadmap perspective, just really quickly on this, we launched XT there. We're now here, and we're looking at options here. I guess the key thing with that is that LTE, which is the next evolution of mobile, our partner in New Zealand who built the network here is building the first 2 commercial networks around the world. So we aim to learn a lot from what they're doing and have kind of a head start in terms of knowledge and how to do that going forward. And I'm just going to briefly skip through some updates on some of those key solutions that might be able to be used today in your businesses to enable some of those outcomes. First one's our mobile office product, which if you haven't heard of it before is like a hosted IP phone system but in our network and enabled on the mobile handset. So we've got that capability to take what is a normal desk phone experience and put it onto your mobile. There's an application that runs on the mobile where you can do a bunch of things in terms of enabling telephony features for your users. You can link your landline number directly to your mobile phone, and so you can start to reduce your duplication of infrastructure and save some money there. That's a really key one. The developments of this product are going along the lines of integrating into your fixed telephony. So if you want to have a hybrid environment, you can do that. You can share information about presence of the mobile users with the fixed users. And in the future releases with the likes of the Federation enabled by BPOS, which Mark talked about earlier, you'll be able to share that across industries or within verticals as well if you choose to. The next thing we're seeing a lot of interest in is a product called HardLink, and talked a little bit earlier about enabling customers to get more information from your products and services with some kind of link to the digital world. So we're seeing 2 uses for this. One is customers providing more information about products and services. You basically scan your phone against one of these codes, and it can take a number of actions. It can dial a number, it can install a contact on the phone, it can point you to a website, it can download a media file, so your customers can interact with your products and get a little bit more information about it. The other thing we're seeing in this space is asset management, so customers tagging their assets with these tags or RFID tags and enabling them to get rich information about that product or service. A good example I talked to a customer about recently was a council who was looking at building inspections, and they wanted a way to be able to record what was happening on those sites. So one suggestion was to take this technology, put it inside the jib in a building or the cladding on a building or in the framework of a building. So when an inspector came out to site, they could scan it, note that they'd been there, they'd tell who did it, when they did it, the quality of the wood, whether it passed the inspection, all those sorts of things, and they could make that information persistent with the length or duration that that house is there. Next one is Locate Plus, and this is a product we've had for a little while, but we're enhancing it a little bit. It's now got an iPhone application and soon to be released on Android and Windows as well. And this application is great. Every time we take this to a customer and sell it to them, it's based on a hard cost out business case. So if you have a fleet of vehicles and you're interested in saving some money, it's a good one to talk to us about, because we never sell it when there isn't a hard cost out business case behind it, and whether that's reducing vehicle maintenance periods, reducing unauthorised use of your vehicles, reducing fuel bills, those kinds of things, or just improving things like customer service, getting to the right place at the right time, those kinds of things. Road user charges is another big cost out opportunity with this product. Another area we've focused a lot on, and with that kind of trend of telecommuting, is our remote access solutions. And this looks rather complicated, but really what it means is that we've engineered our network and integrated it with the things in the cloud, with the Gen WAN services, so that you can give your users choice about how they access the network and from which device. So you're not locked into just using mobile or just using ADSL or just using your WAN service. You can make your users or give them access to the information in their daily jobs or their use applications that they use to get things done anywhere from any device. And there are some really simple ways to do it, and goes right up to some quite sophisticated ways of managing security and protecting your network investment. The last one is we're calling integrated business video. We're seeing a big growth in terms of customers wanting solutions that they can extend video out to their users. It's one of the biggest growing areas of data use across the globe. And we've got, I don't know if you've had the opportunity, but if you haven't, get onto your client manager, come in and have a look at one of our telepresence suites. They're really fantastic. And the way that we kind of got that through the business, and sometimes it's tough as an IT manager to turn a good idea into something that's real, to get the budget for that, is we had a good idea for telepresence to take cost out of our travel budget. And instead of doing it the normal way, which is, give us the money, we'll build it, and then if it's successful, we'll see a reduction in travel costs. We actually did the other way and said, here's your travel budget, cut your travel budget by the amount of money that's needed to deploy this technology, deploy the technology and get users using it. And nowadays, it's a fight to get into the rooms. People love it. And what we're trying to do is extend that out to the mobile devices as well, so you can join into those from your iPad or your Windows phone and participate in those rich video contexts remotely. And lastly, the hero, and it's not very technology related, but it's one that we get constant feedback, and a lot of customers asking me, when the heck is this coming? We've looked at cost as being a kind of concern for business and improving that financial performance. And in the olden days, and I've been a pricing manager in all the telcos, so I know how the models work, and you used to be able to switch from one provider to the other and get a massive cost saving by doing that. They'd lower your rates and they'd give you a better deal over here. Nowadays, it's got to the point where there isn't really a lot of room to move. You might get 1 or 2% or 3 or 5% when you move between providers. There's a lot of cost of change involved in doing that to get those marginal benefits. So our customers are saying, well, what can you do? Well, my budget's shrinking, how can you help me? And one of the things that we've done is built the capability, invested quite a bit of money to develop an online cost management system that allows you to start to reduce costs. And there's a couple of ways that it does it. First thing we do, which is the most important thing, is take you from paper-based bill to an online bill. So you can start to go from a point where you don't understand how users are spending or using services to a point where you have very detailed analysis about how they're using those services. Can provide you alerts on when certain triggers happen, like they do an 0900 call, or they spend over a certain threshold, or they use so much data. So you can start to get better information about how users are using the service. And we think, from what we can tell from a lot of customers who've been using it, you can get about 10% savings on your bill just by doing that. No need to go to RFP process and run all that kind of stuff. Just use the tool that's there today. The next step, and this kind of lines up with this bring your own technology trend, is you're seeing more and more users bringing their own devices, putting your SIM cards in it, tweeting, Facebooking, downloading YouTube, all that kind of stuff, which they love to do and they expect to be able to do, but that impacts you. You pay for it, it comes out of your budget. So what we've done is taken that information, given you the ability to create profiles, and start to allocate those costs between employee liable accounts and corporate liable accounts, and the system does it for you. So you can set a threshold that says, we're happy for you to spend $100 a month on services, anything above that is yours. Or we're happy for you to consume anything between the hours of 8:30 and 5:30, anything else is yours. Or we're happy for you to use your mobile phone whenever you like during the day, during the days that you're expected to be at work, but when you're on holiday on that, that's your calls. So you can get quite granular around the area of control of cost, put those rules in the system at a user level or a business level, and start to automatically allocate those costs out to the users. And it's kind of a win-win. You can say to your employees, actually, if you want to use those services, you can. Take advantage of the great rates we've negotiated with Genii, but pay it on your own account. Or if you've got a bunch of employees in your business who you'd like to give them some connectivity or collaboration ability, but you don't want to blow your budgets out, you can start to go out and deploy these in quite controlled ways around the cost of letting those users consume your services. To add on to that, we think it's important not just to be able to manage the costs, but also to manage the devices. And as these devices increasingly are becoming, mobile computers essentially on your network and not mobile phones anymore, they've got the ability to access company sensitive information, got the ability to inject viruses into the network. There's a bunch of things that you can have as a risk when these devices are connected to your network, which you didn't have before. And what we're doing is we're building a platform which enables you to take stock of what's connecting to your network and start to actively manage that. So you can push out a policy that says if you want our SIM card in your device, you can bring whatever you like to work, but we're going to make sure that it's locked when you're not using it. We're going to enforce a password refresh. We're going to be able to have the ability to remotely wipe that device if you lose it because it's got company sensitive information on it. We want to be able to back that device up so that if you lose it, we can restore the service back to you. So we're building that in the network so that it can work across any kind of device and you can manage those users and get visibility of what's going on in your fleet. And lastly, some info about toys. So the big kind of thing we talked about earlier is the smartphone game. And we expect to see about 400% growth in the number of people using smartphones in the next couple of years. And really that's driven by a couple of things that are represented in those spotty graphs. Lots more phones at lots lower prices. So you can get a very, very good smartphone these days for $200 to $300. And that didn't happen before. So the number of people taking up these devices and the opportunity for you to standardize your fleets on a smartphone and start pushing out some of those productivity benefits to users who were non-executive users is really there today. And we've got a great range of devices. Almost all of these are next door, so you can go and take a look at them. This is here to help demonstrate them, and you can have a look at those. The big ones for us this year obviously going to be Windows Phone 7. Only reason I'm not using my one today is because it's next door in the demo, but it's the kind of phone that if you're a business user who kind of likes that personal experience, it's the kind of phone that you wouldn't put your phone, your SIM in a weekend phone for anymore. Really gives you the ability to get that great world-class office experience as well as all those consumer stuff that you're used to from your other smartphones as well.